Hello Internet, my name is Lave and I watched the big one, Avengers Infinity War, which is the culmination of 10 years worth of Marvel films. This one is directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, who are no strangers to the MCU universe. They previously directed Captain America: The Winter Soldier and Captain America: Civil War. This film follows every Marvel film that has preceded it, so you should know that the Avengers are scattered throughout the world and the universe, and now they must unite and put aside their differences to take on Thanos, a purple, powerful alien who is on a mission to unite the Infinity Stones and bring devastation to the universe. So let's kick things off by talking about Thanos, who's voiced and mocapped by Josh Brolin, who does a terrific job, by the way. When his character was first introduced or teased way back in the first Avengers, I sat back and was like, who the F is that guy? And I'm not ashamed to admit it. So I really hoped that this film would explain his motivations and at least make me understand why he's doing all of this. And it does achieve that. I wouldn't say in a wholly original way. Funny enough, it made me think of a DC film, namely Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins, who says, whenever a forest grows too wild, a purging fire is inevitable and natural. And Thanos has exactly the same motivations. He doesn't outright say that, but they're exactly the same. He believes he's bringing balance to the universe. And how this film sets itself apart is that it shows that he is willing to do anything to see his vision come true, and it affects him emotionally. So he is a complex villain. He is extremely powerful, and the film lets you know that right out of the gates. They absolutely nailed Thanos in this movie. It's brilliant. I cannot say that the film does the same for his henchmen, or his children as he calls them, known as the Black Order. There's 5 of them in this, and they do get in a lot of scraps with various Avengers throughout the film, which is fun, exhilarating, and extremely well executed. But I can't tell you any of their names or why they're doing it, apart from maybe Ebony Moore. He's cool, I suppose. But the fact that I can't tell you anything other than that about these characters is a bit of a gripe for me. I do have a few others which are really, really super nitpicky. This one isn't a spoiler, it's completely out of context, but Bubbles, I said Bubbles like a couple of times in this film. Also, Elizabeth Olsen's accent again, which has been the same in every other film. It's just like, why don't they just phase it out and give up on that? But she does have her moments. There's also a new character played by a very famous actor who has a big but small part. Again, I'm not sure on some of the delivery of this actor's lines, but it is funny. There are a couple of fleeting moments where the CG is noticeable, especially with bits involving the Hulkbuster, which is quite surprising. But in general, the CG characters avoid the uncanny valley. Maybe that's because Thanos and Ebony Moore aren't really human, so they naturally avoid it. There's another henchman, the female one, where she does stray into the valley on a couple of occasions, but in general the CG is spectacular. That's where they put the money at the end of the day. Minor gripes aside, let's talk about some positives. That's pretty much everything else. When I was a kid growing up, I used to love watching the 90s animated Spider-Man cartoon, which was my introduction to a lot of these characters, and I always thought I would love to see this on the silver screen someday. And this is it. It's come to fruition. I absolutely loved seeing Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Black Panther. All of them for the most part get their time to shine, but the cherry on the top is the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. I cannot tell you how fun and joyous it was to see these characters integrate with the team. Drax, who actually annoyed me a little bit in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 with his fake forced laugh. He doesn't do that in this. He's back to the completely literate but extremely funny Drax. And Peter Quill, oh my god, I can't tell. It's so funny, and of course I don't want to spoil it for you, but Peter Quill, amazing. Maybe I am fanboying too much, but I do think it is remarkable and a huge achievement that all of these characters from all of these different films, which has been made by various people, so the tones have varied from time to time, but they all converge into one coherent entertaining summer blockbuster. It's not perfect for all of the reasons that I've already said, and it does have all of the other Marvel tropes that we've come to know, like a disposable army. We basically get the Chitauri Mark II in this, and it is setting up the next slate of movies. And I get why some people are frustrated why this story doesn't have that closure to it, but it does something which I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe needed to do. It raises the stakes, and the way this movie ends, it made me feel like I did when I saw Empire Strikes Back for the first time. Just like, wow, where do we go from here? I can't wait to find out. So that's my thoughts on Avengers Infinity War, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. There's obviously so much more to talk about, but I'm so worried about giving away spoilers. I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Just know that I thoroughly enjoyed it. The kid in me thoroughly enjoyed this one. It's crazy, it's frenetic, it's entertaining, it is jaw-dropping. I'm not sure if it's my favourite Marvel Cinematic Universe film, but it is right up there. Oh man, I've got to see it again. So I'll get my spoiler review up as soon as possible, but until then, thanks very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give this video a like, and don't forget to share the Lave. I'm Groot. Subscribe.